Hello everyone, welcome back to the Rustage Anime Cast podcast of Anime Cast, the Rustage one.
How do you screw this up every single time? Every single time.
My name is Evan.
Did you forget your name? What?
And this is my friend.
Hi, I am Rustage, and I pay this guy to edit my videos.
He pays me way too much.
Anyway. Whoa.
Anyway, yeah, I'm Rustage. You know me from this one. And this is Evan, and you know him from this one. Why don't any of these women love me anymore?
Accurate.
Sorry, actually, that's wrong. I said anymore.
Whoa, okay.
See, that was an evil thing for me to say. And do you know why I'm being evil? Because we're talking about the most evil villains in Shonen anime.
That was the worst segue I've heard in my life. The worst.
This is okay. I am not Rustage. I'm Rustage's evil nemesis, Evil Stage. I am Evil Stitch, and I'm here to talk about my comrades, my villains, my villainous friends, and I'm here with Evil Evan, Eve Evan.
I am Evil Evan.
Oh. Okay, so we're talking about villains in shonen anime. The good ones, the bad ones, the okay ones. Evan, do you want to start? Because you don't.
Yes, actually. I guess I will start with a really good villain that I think that anyone can love, and that is Vegeta.
Oh.
I feel like... Do you disagree already? Wow, we just started, man.
No, not a disagreement. Just didn't think about him. Yeah, he is a villain. He is a villain, and he's good because he's like
he is a villain. Yep, that is true. And like he's a good one.
But okay, but I almost feel like he's better as not a villain. That makes sense.
Yeah,
like if we're ranking these characters purely on like because there's a lot of characters here that are like villains at one point in the story and then not villains at other points. But as a villain, Vegeta's pretty standard, I'd say. Like he's cool because he's he's the prince of the race that you just find out that Goku's an alien, and then you find out the fucking prince of the race that the whole fucking he's the guy. He's the top dog alien that Goku is the alien of, and then he comes to Earth and fucks people up. He is cool, and he has a cool attitude about him at that point in the story.
I just love that he just doesn't really care about anything except, what he wants.
Yeah, and I think the part where he blows up Nappa is really indicative of the type of villain he is.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it was more when he committed genocide. Can I say that on YouTube?
Yeah, you can say genocide.
When he killed all of those Namekians.
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah,
that was just cruel.
He's a bad guy. He's a
real bad guy,
but he has really good character development as a good guy later on. But I always feel like he's let off a bit too easy for all the genocide that he did. But you know what? Fuck it. Piccolo killed many people too. I have good villains, the plenty. What about Pain for Naruto?
Oh, why didn't I think of that one?
Yeah, he's good, right?
Yeah, he's a great one.
Great villain.
Are we talking Nagato Pain?
Yeah, of course.
Or are we talking?
Yeah, like
okay.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Yeah.
I just remembered something. There's like the sliding scale of villains, where it's like why are they villains? Villain motivation scale or something.
I've never heard of this villain motivation
scale. Let me read through this, right? Villains who are... So you have... These are different villains on the scale. So at the bottom, it's villains who are just evil for power or lust, like Ganon. Up above there is villains whose motives are a mystery and seem insane. And then above there, it's villains who are only obeying their nature and doing what they need to do to survive. And above that, villains who are retaliating against misdeeds done against them, like vengeance and stuff. And they may be seeking to change society as a whole. That's kind of Pain a little bit. Above that, reluctant villains who only do evil things because of the situation they find themselves in. Think about like Mr. Freeze.
Yeah.
And then above that, villains whose motives are hard to find fault in and arguably better than the heroes. And most villains in anime, I mean, most villains in general could fall into one of those categories. And you could put Pain as either at that very top or like the two below it, right? Depending on the perspective. But what I like, what makes a good villain is when they have, okay, two things. What makes a good villain is when they have a clear objective and reason behind their villainy that is at odds with the rest of the story. And I think Pain does a really good job of showing you a different perspective on the shinobi world as a whole. And his whole idea is that, you know, he wants to have everyone experience pain, because through that, once everyone's experienced the worst possible pain, then everyone, you know, it sort of brings peace and harmony through unity in that sense, right? You've got that ideology that he's got. But what's also good, and what also makes a good villain is, yes, they've got a pretty good ideology, but they're also wrong, right? Pain is wrong, right? That's not going to work. But that's why it's good, because he has a believable ideology, and you could see why he believes that, and you believe why you think that would work based on the experiences that he's had. But also the fact that he's wrong makes him a villain and makes him good. And I really like that about him. And there's a lot of characters that are like that.
No, I feel like some of the best villains are the ones that are trying to do good, but they're going about it the wrong way.
Yeah.
Like Thanos.
Yeah, exactly. Thanos is wrong.
Yeah.
but he's got good, like, motivation, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, this is about anime.
But then just segues into my, I guess, like Yagami.
Yeah, good point. Yagami has, like, a clear objective goal, and some people would even argue that he isn't a villain.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like he is.
And yeah, some people would argue that he wasn't, and more like a vigilante, like justice guy. But that has a whole interesting sort of approach to what it means to be a villain, because in a lot of anime, characters are black and white. But in Death Note, it's less like that. And I think that sort of through line really carries Light as a character and makes him a good villain. Well, it just makes him a good character in general. Especially because it's in a position where you don't know who's actually going to win.
That's true. That is true.
But I wanted to say that conversely, I do like villains who are just greedy and want, like, power or whatever, like, because they kind of make a really good foil to the main characters. So characters like Spadman and Danzo,
ooh,
I think they're both good villains because they're incredibly hateable, but in a way that makes them really good because it makes them feel good when you beat them, and they lead to, like, the most satisfying moments. Not just One Piece has a lot of that. Celestial Dragons, for example, they're really good villains because when Luffy punches them, it feels good. And I feel like if it feels good for a villain to be destroyed, if you feel emotion when the villains are defeated, I think the villain has done an effective job. Because whether or not that emotion is, yeah, get him, fuck yeah, if it's like Danzo or Spadman, or if that emotion is like, oh man, that's impact with, like, Pain when he was defeated. Like, if there's a strong emotion tied behind the end of their story, then it's good. A bad villain is when they get defeated and you just kind of don't care. Like Hody Jones. Who gave a shit? I didn't care. I didn't hate him that much. I didn't like him that much. I forgot about him.
He just existed.
He just existed. And those are the bad villains. The bad villains are ones that kind of just exist and so that the hero has something to do. And I don't like that.
I feel like to go off of you saying that, like, good villains are the ones that make you feel, like, utmost hatred.
Yeah, I guess, or they make you feel something.
They make you feel something. For me, I got that definitely out of Cell from Dragon Ball Z.
What? That's interesting. I never
absolutely
hated him.
Hated Cell.
I love Cell.
You loved Cell? What made you like him?
Just thought he was...
He just shows up and starts killing everyone.
But, he's not like... I feel
he was just so smug.
You just don't like smug people.
True.
But that's fair. I actually have Cell as okay. The one of the problems I have with Cell is the fact that we couldn't think of anyone stronger than like Luffy. Luffy?
Goku?
Yeah, we couldn't think of anyone stronger than Luffy. No. My problem with Cell is that we couldn't think of anyone stronger than like Frieza and Goku now. We'll just make a character that is all of them combined into one. That's how we'll make them stronger, right? Which I guess is interesting. I don't know. I'm really conflicted. About Cell in general.
I actually like Cell more than I like Frieza, actually.
I like Frieza.
I mean, you get the same effect out of both of them where like you don't like them and you kind of want them to die. But
yeah, well, Frieza I feel like does a more effective job of making you hate him than Cell does.
True, he definitely does blow up more planets, that's for sure.
And you get to see him like, kill children and be like genuinely ruthless towards like innocent people. Yeah. Cell kind of just like mindlessly goes on rampage and kills a bunch of people, but there's less meticulous
torture. It's not mindless.
It's not mindless, but it's like he goes to a town, he kills a bunch of people, right?
He just does it because he can.
Yeah. But with Frieza, you can see him being kind of cruel, and he treats these people really maliciously. He kind of almost, he like kills the children in front of the parents first. And he does stuff like that. Cell just kills everyone. Frieza's definitely he's just a bad dude.
Yeah. I mean, they're both bad, but yeah.
I like Frieza. I think Frieza's my favorite Dragon Ball villain.
I do have another good villain. This one is, a lot of people might not even consider him a villain. Griffith from Berserk.
Fair. Again, I haven't read Berserk, as I talked about on the Rant Cafe podcast, but they seem to really love him. So
he's great. No, he's absolutely fantastic. Yeah. I haven't read it either. I've just watched the animes that exist, and he does nothing wrong in the start, at least. And yeah, he's a victim of circumstance.
I wonder how much of this is true, because people have told me in the past that when you give an opinion on something that I don't know anything about, sometimes your opinion's completely wrong. And I've had people message me, be like, Evan is wrong about this. I'm talking 5 or 6 different people messaging me, being
how dare they? What do you mean?
I don't know. I feel like I'm more inclined to believe them than you.
Wow.
So I don't know how right you are, but I have heard that Griffith is a very good character.
He's a great villain. I love him.
Who do I have on my list? How did you catch up with One Piece yet?
No, I am now 90 episodes behind.
Okay, well, Kataguri is very good, and so is Rob Lucci.
Ooh, love Lucci.
Okay, Lucci's good. We could talk about Lucci. Lucci's good. I like the whole CP9 as a concept. But what I also like about Lucci is that I like his little fucking bird guy. Just think it's a fun little character quirk that on a relatively serious villain, and the bird is kind of a serious villain too, but just the fact that he's a little bird on his shoulder gives that little bit of One Piece charm to the villain, which I really like. And
I feel like I like Lucci because he's just, in a lot of ways, he's just the complete opposite of Luffy. And honestly, I don't know if I know a lot of One Piece villains go on and they improve to become better people. I don't know because I'm not caught up with the manga or anything, but I don't think he does that.
No. What's really interesting about Lucci, and is that it seems to be from the cover stories that you don't read the manga, but I feel like it would have been in the filler of the anime. In the cover stories, it seems like he's still working for the government, right? He's part of CP0 now.
Yeah.
And so he doesn't actually stop being villainous, which I have a problem with a lot of villains that just become good after they're defeated. Like, some villains wouldn't. They would just continue being villainous.
Yeah, exactly.
Obviously, right? And I like the fact that, yeah, he's trying to continue being a villain. Okay, you were talking about how he's the opposite of Luffy. Here's the reason why I really like Kataguri, and I'm going to fucking say this because you've had time. Kataguri's fucking devil fruit is very similar to Luffy's.
Okay.
No. So he doesn't have stretchy limbs. He has the ability to control like mocha or something. Like it's a sort of dough, right? He can make his body into this sort of dough, but that can stretch, right? And so a lot of Luffy's attacks, Kataguri can do the same attacks, but way better.
Huh. Okay.
Right? And
that's actually pretty cool.
Yeah, and so you see that, like, because a lot of people aren't used to the way that Luffy fights, but Kataguri is, because Kataguri can fight just like Luffy, but way better. And so that fight is really interesting, because Luffy has to adapt and evolve to fight against someone who's very similar to himself. On top of that, Kataguri, it comes off, he has this really serious exterior, but there's two really cool things about his character. Firstly, he cares a lot about his brothers and sisters. Sorry, three things. Firstly, he cares a lot about his brothers and sisters, and he has this whole backstory where he protects his like brothers and sisters from being bullied and stuff. He has like a good heart, even though he's like comes off as this really like mean and brooding person. The second thing is he's incredibly honorable. Fuck you, Evan. I'm just talking about this fight because I can't. There's one point where one of the he's having a one-on-one fight with Luffy, and someone else comes in and like shoots Luffy, and Kataguri then gets a spear and stabs himself, so they're even. Right?
Okay, yeah.
And then, so he's got like this sense of honor about him that makes him really respectable as a villain. And then the third thing is he's also has like this secret that you think's like this dark secret, but it's not. He just really fucking loves donuts. And he has to like, he hides away, and everyone's like, does he do when he hides away? And then Luffy like finds him, and he's just eating this huge donut, and he's so embarrassed that he, you know what I mean? And
that's actually funny.
It's just a really fun flaw for this character, and I really like him a lot. He's one of my favorite villains, and I'm sorry that I spoiled a bunch of it for you. But
no, it's fine. I'm just gonna kill you later.
But fuck you, because I gave you time.
No, it's fine.
Gosh, there are quite a lot of good villains in One Piece, because we can move over to Blackbeard.
Ooh, Blackbeard's also good.
God, he's so good. Blackbeard is so good because he runs parallel to Luffy's journey. I just fucking love it. I love the idea of, I hope he becomes the final villain at the end, because I love the idea that possibly the main villain of the entire show is a character that sort of progressed at the same time that Luffy did, right? Yeah, and wasn't just an overarching villain from the beginning. Right?
Exactly, yeah.
I fucking love that. And
it's amazing.
And his machinations, people talk about how Doflamingo is really good at manipulating people. Fucking Blackbeard does it way better than Doflamingo ever did. And Blackbeard has this just sense of greed and ideology that progresses him through the story. And what's interesting is there's so many world events that only happen because of Blackbeard. And the other interesting thing is, like, Luffy only meets Blackbeard once.
Yep.
In right before Skypiea, and they're relatively neutral. They actually have similar ideologies in a really disturbing way.
They were really friendly with each other too.
Yeah. But a lot of what Blackbeard does directly affects the main character Luffy without Luffy really realizing it, and I think that's so effectively written and well woven into the story. And man, like, all that setup so that he could steal Whitebeard's devil fruit is like incredible, and that's the sort of thing that I feel like Doflamingo needed. And I've already gone on my rant about Doflamingo and most overrated characters, so I won't go on a rant now, but I will say that he's one of the weaker villains in One Piece that people think is really good, but he's not that good. Sorry, I was fucking rambling a lot about One Piece.
No.
Do you got anyone?
I feel like another good villain for me, you might disagree with this, but I really like All For One from My Hero.
I like him, but in a sense of, I think, you know how All Might's the symbol of peace, but he doesn't do a lot in the show currently. I like that All For One is kind of like the symbol of villainy, and the fact that his presence exists is good. I don't think he does anything in the show that I think's cool, and I don't think I like his ideology that much, but I just like the fact that he's there and influences a lot of people, like Shigaraki and stuff.
I
like Shigaraki a lot more, especially because of the manga. And that's a manga I'm not going to go into.
But spoil the anime for me.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's not in the anime yet, so I'm not going to talk about anything to do with that. But the whole League of Villains in My Hero is really good. Especially those people who read the manga know what I'm talking about. But I think they're all written incredibly well and have pretty good, believable motivations and stuff. And really good camaraderie as well. I think camaraderie in that sort of aspect is...
The League itself, yeah, I'd say like a lot of the League, they're just good villains, for sure.
Yep. I like them. I like them a lot.
I'd say Toga's good. I like her.
Speaking about my hero, I quite liked Overhaul in the manga. I thought he was cool. I thought he was fun. His abilities were cool. And his whole sort of arc and his motivation was really interesting and different. Like seeing people who have quirks as kind of like an illness, and he kind of just wants to bring the Yakuza back, which I think is
that's cool. It's different, for
but
sure.
Apparently he was bad in the anime.
How was he bad? It was the same thing.
Okay, so I don't know, but from my friends Connor and Mark, they said that they didn't really like Overhaul in the anime. When they watched it, they thought he wasn't that great of a villain. And I haven't seen that bit of the anime yet. But I quite liked him in the manga, and I imagine that the pacing of the anime might have messed up his character a little bit and made him worse. But I'd like to hear what you guys think about Overhaul. Do you think he was good? Those who've read the manga and watched the anime, let me know which one was better. Maybe I'm a fool for liking him.
I mean, from an anime only standpoint, his character definitely didn't have enough time to grow.
That might have been it. I think he had way more time in development in the manga, and they rushed it because I think they wanted to do this arc and the next arc in the same season.
I realized that this time the anime is doing like 2 arcs.
Yeah,
and I'm like, oh, okay, that's
because I honestly thought this whole fucking season would be that one arc they did for the first half. So I think maybe.
And then apparently the movie is also canon. I've been told,
all of the movies are canon. They just aren't from the manga.
This is weird.
They just take place like in between seasons.
Except this one, it's not really in between. I don't know where this one's supposed to place.
Yeah. Okay. Who else do you have?
In terms of a villain that I like.
Yeah.
This one is the one I was mentioning to you earlier before we started. Johann from Monster.
From Johann Sebastian Bach, the classical musician, the great evil classical musician we all hate.
That guy. Yep.
I've not seen Monster, but you said it's good.
Yeah, Johann's absolutely fantastic. He's good because he's just a psychopath.
I mean, that's good. Sometimes having like psychotic characters like that is really
because the entire time it's just like, why are you doing this? It's like there's no real reason. I mean, he sort of has one, but it's just because he's crazy.
It just kind of reminded me of a character anime I've not seen, but I've seen clips from. I want to know if you've seen it. It's the one with the old man who like is half part robot, and the villain is that guy who can point at people and make them explode by saying bang.
Oh yeah, I haven't seen it either. But
there's that clip where he's like talking to this girl after killing both his parents, like, do you like One Piece? Who's your favorite character? And it's just really good and kind of unnerving, and I think it's really effective. But I haven't seen the show, so I don't know how good he is as a villain, but he seems good. Don't know what his name is either.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Okay, Father/King Bradley. I mean, 2 different characters, but I just mean the villains in My Hero. Fullmetal Alchemist.
Fullmetal, yeah.
My Metal Alchemist. I like him. I don't know what... We always just harp on about how well written Fullmetal Alchemist is, and it's difficult to just explain how good they are without just saying it's just just woven so well. The arc, the the grand plan is really cool, and like the reveal of it slowly, as you slowly get more information about it, is really effective as well. And King Bradley, like the whole twist with that, and like his son. Oh, it's just all really good. The villains are really good in Fullmetal Alchemist. What more can I say?
You mentioned both of them, but like, I think I like King Bradley as a villain more than like Father.
That's fair. That's why.
And it's probably because
you spend more time with him.
You spend more time with him, and I guess I'm also thinking of the first Fullmetal Alchemist.
No, we're talking about canon Fullmetal Alchemist only.
Okay, fine.
The Mangarin Brotherhood.
Fine. I like King Bradley. He's cool. He cuts a tank bullet. Whatever it's called.
He's cool. Who else do I have? Do you know who I have as a villain that I kind of like?
Naraku.
No, Pegasus from Yu-Gi-Oh.
Oh, okay, that's actually good.
I just think he's kind of cool, unnerving. I liked his motivations, and then I sort of like the fact that he's sort of... Yu-Gi-Oh has this thing where the villains keep getting more and more extravagant. You get that with all anime, actually, to be fair.
Yeah.
And so Pegasus was sort of low-stakes villain, and he had a Millennium item, and it was kind of your first exposure to the whole culture. Like, it's cool, like, Yugi has one, and this guy has one.
Yeah.
I liked him. I liked his whole demeanor as well. I like Pegasus. He's nice. Cool, sweet, good guy.
I feel like, if we wanted to stick on Yu-Gi-Oh villains for a bit, Bakura was also a really good villain.
Bakura, Bakugo.
Bakugo, greatest villain ever.
Yeah, I mean, they're good. Yeah. I think Bakura had a little bit of like I don't know. I questioned some of his motivations near the end, Bakura, but Yu-Gi-Oh had pretty solid villains all in all, like the original show and stuff. I liked it.
Yeah,
not more I can say. Do you have?
Okay. One more Yu-Gi-Oh villain that is just completely underrated.
Yeah,
Kaiba's dad.
Yeah, fair enough. All right. Do you have anyone else?
Was that it? Is
that your list?
Yeah, that was.
Okay.
That was it.
I've got a few more. Bad villain. The guy from Sword Art Online. Stupid idiot ass. Like, the guy... You know what I'm talking about? The creator of the game.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Stupid motivations. What? Stupid, like... How they beat him is stupid. The whole ending of that's stupid. It's stupidly written. He's stupid. I hate him. I don't even remember his name. He's stupid. Kaguya is, I mean, as like a villain concept, she's okay, but she's just written into the story really stupidly. I don't like her that much. People don't like her. Madara should have been the final villain. Madara was good. Madara wasn't as good of a villain as like Pain or even Orochimaru in a way, but I feel like he was good enough to have people like final villain potential.
No, I feel like Madara should have just been the final villain. Yeah,
exactly, right? Because they built him up from the very beginning, and it's just the parallels, right? Like it's all really good stuff, and the fact that Madara manipulated Obito, who manipulated Pain, is this sort of cool thing. I like that. I liked it all. I like that. And Kaguya kind of ruined it.
Kind of.
Yeah. And then on top of that, the Akatsuki. I think the Akatsuki as a squad, they're fun.
Oh, they were fantastic.
They were good. I like their design and everything.
They were so much better than Orochimaru.
I like Orochimaru, though.
No, I like him too, but I'm just saying that they were better.
I mean, like, some individual members of the Akatsuki are not better, but kind of as a whole, they're good.
Yeah, as a whole, yeah.
And the way that they're placed together and stuff. And I'm a sucker for like organizations in anime like that. 13 guard captains, the Akatsuki, stuff like that, where it's a group of people.
I think another bad villain for me would be Aizen.
Only
because,
he's what I like about Aizen. Okay. Aizen starts as a good villain, and then he gets worse and worse as the story goes on.
Exactly. He starts off amazing, but then, like, when you find out that, I manipulated all these events to happen from the very beginning, this was all part of my plan, it's like, no, it wasn't.
Stupid.
That doesn't make sense.
Yeah. It's stupid because the whole, like, trope of, I controlled everything from the beginning the whole time, is so easy to make effective because you are the one that's writing the story. So you can... Okay, if you knew that the villain is manipulating the whole thing the whole time, you can write that in when you were writing the story, like hints about that and ways of making that. So when that reveal does happen, it's like, oh, that makes sense. That's why this was that and that was this. But when it's used as a way to explain events, when the writer was just writing any old stuff, when they were just doing it week by week instead of having an overarching story, then it's lazy and it sucks and it ruins a character. Does Gaara count? He's like the best character in Naruto.
As a villain? I mean, he does start off as a villain. So.
Yeah, he has the best... Gaara is the best example of a villain to friend arc. In Shonen in general, I feel. He's just very well done.
No, he was done very well.
He's just amazing. I love that guy. Love that guy. Who else do I have here?
On my list, I mentioned it earlier, but Naraku.
Who is that?
So he is for fuck. I remember his name.
He is for fuck.
The goddamn show he's from. He is from the Inuyasha. There you go.
Oh, is he good?
No, he's a bad villain. He doesn't do anything.
Oh, fair enough. Yeah, fair.
He's just the type that just exists.
Oh, actually, as someone who's just recently played through all of Kakarot, do you like Boo?
No, he's also on my bad villain list.
Boo's pretty bad. Honestly, should have ended after the cell.
Yep, I agree. Like, Boo is the type of villain that is just bad because I guess they can't be controlled. They just are kind of just destructive for no reason.
Yeah, but not in a way that makes you hate them, like Danzo or Spadman or stuff. Just in a way that's boring and makes you not care.
Exactly.
It's like, oh yeah, they beat Boo. Who cares? I don't care. I don't care about this fucking pink idiot. Fuck you.
Like, the entire concept of Boo is literally the fact that he is a child that just likes destroying things. That's all children in general.
It makes it more difficult when talking about their motivations and stuff. It kind of makes it harder to write a compelling story. It just feels like it's just a blown up version of there's a kid running around with like scissors in his hands and you have to stop him.
Yeah, exactly.
Except for whenever you get close to that kid, he just beats you to fuck up.
Oh my god, this is literally the best description of Boo I've ever heard.
But it's just like
scissors in his hands.
And that's not fun to like do and or watch.
Yeah.
Maybe it could be fun to watch. I'd like to imagine you trying to catch a kid with scissors in his hands.
Can the thumbnail just be Boo with scissors in his hands?
No, the thumbnail is going to be Madara because no,
that's fair.
He's a Naruto character, I guess, and all my friends.
I'll make my alternative thumbnail.
Boo with scissors in his hands. Yeah. All right, I'm just gonna do a quick Google search of villains in Shonen, just in case we've missed any. Oh yeah, the Hunter x Hunter villains. I've not finished it, but you have, almost. Right?
I still haven't finished it. I believe I'm 10 episodes away from finishing now.
But Hisoka I really like in the first bit of the story. And there's another villain I know that comes in later. Do you like that villain? I think his name's like Miriam or something.
So I haven't seen him do anything yet.
Oh, okay, interesting. That's fair. So it takes so long for him to actually do anything.
Yeah, so like I still don't know. Okay. If he is as good as people say
he is. Yeah.
Yeah. But the villains around him, though.
Oh, fair.
Like, they're like really good villains for sure.
18 greatest shonen villains of all time. See, he's at the top. Miriam's at the top.
He's always at the top of like a lot of the lists, I noticed. Yeah.
People are going to get mad at us for not knowing. This is the Rustage anime cast. It's not the experts on anime cast. It's just stuff like See, Doflamingo's on this fucking list. I'm always so annoyed when I see that. Dio. He's all right. Oh, yeah. He's all right as a villain. He's probably the best JoJo character. But that's not saying much. He's probably better in the third season. Dio is fine. I like Dio. He's all right. Not one of my favorites, but he serves his purpose. Greed is good. Like,
Greed is actually really good. Yeah,
his whole betrayal at the end is amazing. It's just such a good. It's so good. His like writing and his sort of inner dialogue with Lin.
Yeah,
is amazing.
You're gonna hate me for this again, but Greed in both the Fullmetal Alchemist
I'm
series,
sure they're both good.
They're both really good.
I'm sure they're both good. Anyway, I'm gonna just go over some bad comments. We didn't do it last episode. Seems to be every other episode we do it. Let's
make sure to submit your bad comments so you can go over them.
That's not how it works. Is it me? But Game Boy Jones sounds like an old white man when he raps.
Oh no! I don't think he's gonna like that, especially given he's pretty big on the black thing.
Your voice is terribly shit, but other than that, your rapping is lit. This wasn't meant to attack the guy, so please, conniption fit. Okay.
What
I like about this
is,
firstly, I don't know what the fuck conniption is. It's spelled Coniption. He's misspelled something.
I thought you were about to explain it to me because I was like, what the hell is that?
I also like how they're bars. It fucking rhymes. I don't think he realizes. Your voice is terribly shit, but other than that, your rapping is lit. This wasn't meant to attack the guy, so please, conniption fit. Oh, this is terrible. This is like a roleplay thing. Someone fucking role-playing in my comment section. Me, visiting Japan. Japanese song plays. Me, oh hell no! Japanese girl walks up, talks to me and said, hi friend, in a cute voice. Me, oh hello, what's up? Japanese girl kisses me in the cheek, giggles cutely and tells me her name. Me, wow, so cool!
Hashtag that totally happened.
I thought you did not curse. You are a disgrace. That's actually a comment on one of the podcast episodes.
No. I'm trying to help him to curse less, guys. I'm sorry.
Actually, this is one of my favorites. You know how we've talked about how much we hate Meliodas, and we've gone in depth about how much we hate Meliodas?
Yeah.
This is a comment on one of the recent podcasts. Why do you hate Meliodas?
You might want to play back the audio again, buddy, and listen.
Naruto doesn't sound like that. It's you rapping, and you suck at rapping.
These are great. These are absolutely fantastic. I love them.
Yeah, I'm glad you like these. Anyway, thank you so much for listening to this episode of the Rustage Cast.
Please leave more bad comments down below.
But do this. Leave us a review on iTunes, and we will read it out on the next episode. Go to our iTunes page and leave us a review. Legitimately, we will read out all of the reviews at the end of the episode. So
please leave a bad comment on iTunes.
No, don't do that. Just leave a good review, man.
Leave a bad one.
Anyway, thank you so much for listening. Goodbye. My name is Daniel Rustage.
Bye.
Go.